Hey, Mitch.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Sorry for being late here.
Yeah, you know what? I saw it in the thing was it just said you're in another meeting. And I was like, okay, so I'll wait. And I literally just closed the thing and thought you'll get back to me. And I went into my email and it said, sorry for being late. And I opened it up and then boom, there you are.
Yeah,
Are you in San Fran?
no, I'm not. Well, my mind is, I'm a Silicon Valley guy, but I'm originally from Montreal, Canada, and right now I'm in the Mexican mountains with a view on the lake.
Nice. We can work
You're,
from anywhere.
yeah, exactly. Well, I started business that way. I'm Gen Z, so I'm 93. That makes me 27, 28. I would need to ask my wife. But I was born in technology, so uh, having a computer, playing World of Warcraft when I was younger. So to me, it's always been, second nature to just like work online. And I mean, that's pretty cool because I can hire like 8 players, not only from Montreal, Canada, for example, but from anywhere in the world. I mean, I have my CO is from Palestine. Who would have thought?
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah.
What about you, Covina, right? I think I have the uncle of my wife is from Covina or Corvina. Uh, is that this? No, it's like Corvine or something like
No,
that.
Irvine.
Yeah, something like that.
Irvine is in Orange County. So I'm in Los Angeles County. Irvine, Orange County is south of us, next to Clinton County.
Yeah, I'm pulling out my Google Maps here. I'll be in Vegas next year, but I haven't done LA so far. It looks like a pretty cool place. It's like pretty wealthy people, but also a bunch of people in the streets, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm,
LA's pretty cool. I was born and raised here, so
okay,
yeah,
okay.
it's
Nice,
it's
man.
it's it's normal. It's normal for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is. Tell me about like eMarketing Associates because it looks pretty cool what you guys do, and you've been at it for like 22 years now. Pretty impressive.
Yeah. Long time. We are our kind of mantra is we help small businesses grow.
Okay,
So we're our passion and is only helping small businesses. We don't like big companies.
okay,
We like to work with small companies. Why? Because we can move the needle.
okay. Pretty
When you work for big
interesting.
companies, you got a lot of competition. They have a lot of competition. And when we work with mom and pop, a local business, our floor is about 1 million in revenue
Okay,
for a company
yeah,
because when we ask for 1% of their revenue for a marketing budget as a base,
okay,
they don't like go, 5%, I can't spend 5%. Nobody spends 5%. So
yeah,
our kind of sweet spot, our floor is about 1% of revenue at a
okay,
$1 million and up company.
okay,
So, and typically the typical customer spends $1,500 or $2,000 a month. It just depends on what we're doing for them,
yeah,
and what kind of industry they're in.
okay.
We go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. Okay, I'm taking notes here.
We have a couple of, although we have customers in a whole bunch of different industries,
Yeah.
we're heavily weighted in the hotel business.
Okay. Interesting. Why?
And we have a newfound expertise in
Mhm.
a very niche
Okay.
business, two niche businesses. One of them is pallet manufacturers,
I know that one.
pallet manufacturers, and the other one is basically maid services.
Maid services, so like house cleaning.
Yeah, house cleaning. We don't want janitorial. We don't want janitorial. Janitorial is about a 10% gross margin.
Okay.
It's very, very slim margins. And
Okay.
janitorial is 100% commodity. Every company and every government that's bidding on contracts, they take the lowest bidder. It's a commodity.
Okay.
Okay. We don't want to deal with that. Conversely, if you get a maid service or house cleaning, it's about a 30% gross margin. So there's a
Okay.
lot more leeway there. And plus
Okay.
you're dealing with the consumer. So think about you and your wife, you're like working really hard. You're working 15 hours a day. Your wife's, you got a couple of you got a baby on the way
Yeah.
and nobody wants to clean the house. You don't really are not that sensitive as to,
Yeah.
oh, wow, $200. Wow. I was hoping I could get it for like $80.
Hmm.
Some people are like that, but the majority are not.
Yeah.
And with our customers, they typically will clean, bigger homes,
Yeah.
and they work with the state managers and things in Beverly Hills and Bel Air and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
we're talking about 10,000 square foot homes and up.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. All right.
but
And obviously I know about them. My parents had house cleaners. I have house cleaners too. I go from Airbnb to Airbnb. They're all luxury Airbnb, so I get them cleaned. I don't clean stuff myself. So I do understand the business. And yeah, Bel Air and Beverly Hills, I mean, those are huge houses. Okay, do you go after other niches than those, or?
No, that's pretty much it. And I'll tell you what the focus is, and the reason for my interest with you.
Yeah.
We're well versed. I mean, you're probably using Apollo, and you're probably using Hypereyes or something like that. But
Hypereyes, I don't know that one. I'll take it.
You don't know Apollo?
I know Apollo, obviously. Apollo is my best friend. I have like 20 accounts.
Okay, Charles, you need to look into Hypereyes. It's going to change your life.
Really? Okay.
It allows you to personalize. So with Hypereyes, let me show you what I did.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
I use line.ai, by the way. So I don't know Hypereyes, but I use line.ai, which is like 1v1 at scale,
Yeah. So I'll tell you what I did before. Yeah. So I go and buy these 2 Starbucks cups. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I had the graphic designer, she whited out. We took a picture of me holding the cup.
Yeah.
And she whited it out.
Yeah.
And with Hypereyes, I can take and write Charles in felt marker on this cup. And then the other cup, I write my name.
Yeah.
So I've got here, Charles. I said, why don't we sit down for a 10-minute coffee, virtual coffee?
No, that's a good idea.
And I can send those out, and I can use Apollo to actually send those out. So Hypereyes is handling all the overlay and stuff like that technology.
Yeah.
Or you've got a pit bull or a bulldog or something holding up a sign that says, "Hey, Charles, let's have a call." I mean, I'm telling you something, it really gets people's attention.
Yes.
So the reason that I reached out to you was because we have a lot of experience working with SDR companies.
Okay.
And what we found is some companies are really tilted toward the Apollo side of it, which is the personalization in the email. And then we have other companies, one that we're working with right now, and I'm not going to tell you who they are. And it's strictly an SDR who's doing 150 cold calls a day. Okay. Plus follow-up emails, plus some LinkedIn outreach. So similar to what you do. But what the difference is that what I'm looking for is a hybrid. Because I know what you get when you just email. And I know what you get when you cold call. But if you combine the two of those together as a hybrid model where because Apollo actually has a baked-in template that's like 2 emails and then a call and then another email and another call, kind of like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're looking for, because we've had pretty good success on the email personalization side. We had mixed success on the telemarketing side, only because we changed verticals. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So, do you guys do that hybrid?
We do, but like typically month 3 and 4, we start like 100% email just because it's so good, the results that we're getting. And then when we kind of max out, the email part of things, we go with calls and LinkedIn outreach.
Okay. So it is kind of hybrid, but as a long-term venture.
Yeah, correct.
So, one of the things that I found out through experience is that, pallet manufacturers for us, there's a very small group. There's about 5,000 of them in the United States. But you'd be hard-pressed to find more than 1,000 anywhere. In any database, whether you're using Apollo or any other online database or LinkedIn or things like that. And the reason is because that industry is literally 15 to 20 years behind everybody else. Many of them, some of them don't have websites. Many of them that have websites, they're 12 or 15 years old, and they've never spent a penny marketing. And most importantly, the owner who owns the company now, when he came to this country and immigrated, he was doing piecework for another pallet manufacturer, making $50 a day. And he says, wow, I can do this on my own. And he went out and started his company. And we've got one pallet manufacturer working with right now, literally 27 years ago, started out working for somebody else, and he's doing $1 million a month now.
Wow. That's good money. What are the margins in that industry?
What's that?
What are the margins in that industry?
Margins are actually pretty good. And right now, because of COVID, so if we kind of rewind back to when COVID started, so all of a sudden everybody's stuck at home, and there's nothing better to do, just like if you live in the north or the north or up in Canada in the wintertime, nothing else to do but shop. You just shop online. So people started to hit Amazon like crazy, and then they wanted their food delivered because it wasn't safe to go out. So they started to do all that stuff. But what happened is with e-commerce is it blew up.
Yep.
It used all the paper products and all the boxes were gone. Yeah. And all the lumber is gone.
Yeah.
So you can't make pallets because everything they're shipping like crazy.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden now you got this huge lumber shortage. So the price of lumber, the commodity, tripled.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
I know.
So now the pallet manufacturers, I remember 3 years ago, one of our customers was selling pallets for $3.50.
Okay.
Now, $18 to $22.
Holy shit.
And now, we're looking at web analytics and we're saying, hey, your customers are coming from freaking Ohio. They're coming from Iowa. They're coming from Illinois. What's going on?
Yeah.
And he goes, because they can't find anything local. Yeah. And the company is based in Chicago, but they've got warehouses here and they can't find anything. So they're going everywhere. Yeah. And some of the companies are in Chicago and they want them to ship it to Chicago. It's crazy. Yeah. So, and they'll pay whatever the price is because whatever they're putting on the pallet is 100 times more value than what the pallet cost.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
So their business went through the roof.
Mm.
But the bottom line is that the margins have gone up because the price has gone up so fast. Nobody kind of has a clue of what the real price should be. Before, when it's all competitive, it's like, oh, you sell for $3.50, well, I'll sell for $3.60. Oh, I'm losing business for 10 cents. Let me go back down. But the price is going up so much. Nobody knows if you don't buy today, tomorrow the price is going to go up again.
Yeah, yeah. So how many customers do you have right now?
175.
Well, because I checked how big was your agency? Is it fair to say you have around 10, 15 employees? Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, my connection here sometimes bugs. Okay. Do they pay you on a monthly basis, the 1%, or is it yearly contract?
No. Well, we do. So yes, and yes. Yes and no. Okay. Everyone signs a 1-year contract. Okay. At the end of the 1 year, it just reverts to month to month.
Okay.
And they will pay a recurring marketing fee.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. Let's take, to make it easy, let's take an $11,000 contract. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to build a website, and let's say the website costs $8,000. Okay. They're going to pay for that in the first month.
Yeah.
They're going to pay $4,000 deposit and then $4,000 when it's ready to go live.
Okay.
That's the website part of it. Then we have an ongoing $1,000 a month recurring. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay?
Is that Google AdWords, SEO?
What's that?
What service is the 1K per month? Is it SEO?
Everything, soup to nuts, everything. So our solution is all integrated, and we don't believe in piecemeal or doing one-off kind of things. If somebody says, hey, I want you to build a website, we typically won't do that. Why? Disservice. You build it and they won't come.
Correct.
Okay. Hey, I got a new website and then I don't have any business. I don't want to have that conversation. So typically when we do this, it's a website. We fix their business listings, so how they're listed across the web. We do SEO. We give them other software depending on what they need. If they get a lot of reviews, we have reputation management software. If they do social media, we have social marketing software that we use, which is Cloud Campaign. And they'll get a seat for that. And what we typically do is that we are a total solution provider. And all the customer does is breathe. We do everything else online.
Okay. Got it.
Because typically the customer doesn't know how to do social media. We have a whole team that does that. So we can handle that for them. So depending on what kind of business they're in, we will spec out and say, this is what you need to be successful. And we'll also include, we usually include a budget for social media, like $500 a month for a budget if they're going to do social for them. And then we always do call tracking.
Okay. Makes all sense.
We can track the source of all the business. Each channel gets its own phone number.
Yes. How many meetings do you get on a monthly basis?
10, 15.
15. Then half come from the actual SDR making calls right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 to 15. Actually, it's kind of weird because we just started doing the telemarketing part and have only been doing it for a few weeks.
Okay.
So I don't have a real good number of that. But from the email side of it, when we were running the marketing automation, we had really good success with it. We would get 2 or 3 appointments a day.
Yeah, that makes sense. Why did you stop that?
Why did we stop it? Yeah. They burned up all of the thing. So we were going after pallet manufacturers and machine shops. Machine shop, not automotive machine shops. These are precision machine shops that do aerospace, government kind of work. But those 2 industries, again, are small. So most of those are old school businesses because they were started by grandpa, and now the father's running it, and the kids are coming in and taking over, and the kids are saying, hey, wait, why aren't you marketing online? You know, so these guys aren't on LinkedIn. So that's one of the biggest problems, because we know that a lot of you guys, you're going to get your information from LinkedIn. And unfortunately, these are fringe industries that just don't have a heavy presence on LinkedIn. So we literally burn up all the leads. Now, what we were doing before was hotels, and we had a really good success with that. The problem is we ran into another thing where they started to run out of leads, and then the rate went down. So we were doing in the beginning, we were getting a 3%. We're getting a 3% response, which is really good. Okay. Get a 3% response rate. And then it went down to 2.2 and then 1.8 and dropped down. When it got to about 1.5, I pulled the plug on it, just because it's like, I need to have more appointments for what I'm paying, you know?
Yeah, I got it.
But your model is a little bit different, because their model is a flat monthly, which is quite a bit higher than what your monthly is, your base. And, but they aren't charging for appointments. I have mixed feelings about charging for appointments.
Okay.
And my only mixed feeling is because the onus is on there is a temptation, because you're getting $100. And I'm not saying you're doing it, but there's a temptation by the salesperson to say, oh, well, just schedule it and don't worry. You know, if you don't want it, then you can say no in the end, you know, and I've always had that fear.
Well, you know we kind of got over that. I use my own service and I don't tolerate that. I'm not like after profits right now at this phase of my business. I'm more like after growth and generating my clients, you know, meetings and being obsessed at satisfying them. So, I mean, if you're not happy with the meet, just tell us. I use my own product, and I'm the hardest judge of what we do here at Top Leads. And yeah, I wouldn't certainly tolerate a shitty meeting in my calendar, you know? So I'm over that. I've been in the biz for like 6-7 years in the lead gen.
I can tell you this, and I tell every one of our customers, and I tell every one of our prospects, I tell them this: every small business has an unlimited marketing budget.
Theoretically, if you generate ROI,
has an unlimited marketing budget. Now, everybody will say, oh, no, they don't. And I say, yes, they do. If I can show you that when you do business with us, and I can give you a 1,200% ROI consistently every month, you're going to go to the bank and borrow $1 million and throw that down at me, because and the only reason they don't do things is because they're afraid of getting whacked by the boss. They're afraid of making the wrong decision, things like that. But once you know, I had a customer last week, and you know what they said? They said, hey, I want more business. What do I need to do? You know what I said? Throw more money at it. And they goes, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. That's life-changing. Nobody says that in the business. Nobody says that. Oh, I didn't think about that. But that's because if you know what you're doing and you can deliver the results, then the conversation becomes easier with the customer, because it's not, oh, I don't want to spend $1,000. How about 900? There's no negotiating here. I've already proven what I can get you.
Correct. It's all about scaling. It's all about staying on that same table, right?
This. Give me a second. I'm going to share you this, because this is the kind of results we get.
Click on that. ePalette. All right.
Those are real numbers. Those are real numbers.
Increase in quote revenue. Okay.
So, you know, when you have a pallet manufacturer, you know, you don't sell, people don't buy things online. It's not e-commerce. So they have to say request a quote, because a lot of times they want a custom quantity, or they want a custom size or something like that. And they give their specifications and say, give me a quote. Okay. And if you scroll down the bottom, right? You can look at the real analytics. Look at this Y over Y. Look at this. Google. Look at this.
I got
this is year over year. Crazy. Look at Google Analytics. These don't lie.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And COVID COVID did some crazy things, and obviously you picked it during the right moment. My question for you is, like, if you run out of leads, why don't you go after, I don't know, lawyer firms or accounting firms that are still SMB instead of like pulling out the plug?
Well, I don't. Well, first of all, there's a lot of industries that we don't like.
Okay.
And one of them is like lawyers. One of them is real estate. We don't like those industries.
I don't like real estate either. Lawyers never same.
They're and I'm not going to say I'm going to say like realtors. Realtors are cheap.
Yeah, they are.
And what's really strange, and my niece is a realtor, and I keep talking to her, and I said, look, and she makes a fortune. She's 27 years old now, and she made $600,000 last year.
Yeah.
Okay. She's doing well. Okay. And I got on her one day and I said, you're making $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 on a transaction. Why don't you spend any money market? Oh, it's too expensive. I don't want to spend the money. And I go, what are you doing with all the money? You're going to take it to your grave?
Yeah.
You're a business. You're not an individual. You're not a consumer now who saves money. You're a business, and you spend money and you make money.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you, if you spend money in the right places, you can make $1 million next year.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I can make $1 million, and that's a tough conversation. But when I talk to realtors, it's always the same. And everybody wants to be everything to everybody. And they say, oh, I specialize in selling real estate in Los Angeles. Really? Wow. Specialize in Los Angeles? If I was in real estate, because I'm a marketer, you know what I would specialize? This square block. You want to buy a house anywhere in this neighborhood, you come to me because I'm an expert. I know everybody who lives there. I've knocked on every one of their doors. I know their properties. I know the last time they were remodeled. You want to buy something? I'm the specialist in that neighborhood.
Specialize with for properties with like famous actors or something like that, or artists. Like it's
tiny. But that's different though. That's different because what ends up happening is those kind of people only want to deal with people who they can trust, and they trust the other person that's famous and rich, and they'll just get a referral from them, and then that's their guy.
Correct,
but when you've got Joe Consumer who's just listening, and the guy's saying, oh, I'll list your house for 2%. Oh, I'll do it for 1.5%. I'll do it for 1%. It's a commodity. Yeah. It's a commodity. So that's why I don't like that.
So what other niche like could we go after? Because I agree with you, like realtors, and lawyers too. It's not the best of niche.
And lawyers are tough because look, there are industries that don't believe they should have to spend money because I'm billing $600 an hour. I shouldn't have to spend money on it. They're not open to suggestion. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, they're closed-minded people to start off with. They follow laws,
start with. Yeah, and I work with a Beverly Hills lawyer who I was courting for a while to try to get his business. Okay. His billable is $1,000 an hour.
Yeah,
$1,000 an hour.
Yeah,
but the kind of clientele that he deals with, and I told him, you need to spend, if you want to do SEO, you need to be on your marketing. You need to be spending $20,000 a month. Oh, there's no way I would do that. And okay, let's go out on the 10 interstate freeway that runs from California all the way to Florida. Let's go out on the 10 freeway just in a 5-mile area. And I want you to count the billboards with attorneys on them. And then I want you to see which attorneys are on those billboards. Okay. And when you drive down, there's 5 billboards within 2 miles with the same attorney. And each one of them is $4,000 a month.
Okay.
They know how to make money.
Yeah.
Because you can't spend $16,000 a month and not get a return.
Yeah. Well,
but the phone's blowing up. It's ringing off the hook. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can. Billboards are interesting. I mean, that's not my generation. Okay. But to come back to us and what we could do together. I mean, I use Apollo. I send like sequences of emails. I could send them to, like your targets, but we would have also to do other campaigns so that we don't run out of leads, basically. So target like other sectors. Like I don't want us to just run out of reply rate, like high reply rate and meetings per campaign. So we would need to be smart with that. And we could A/B, we could give you stats of what works and what doesn't. But I mean, the machine needs to roll, So I could do hotels, I could do pallets. I mean, that would get interesting because yes, and we'd have to import list in Apollo. Obviously, use another tool called the 7 Leads Finder, which you probably know. And we could outreach those guys and get you like, 5-10 meetings a month typically. And then after we get some traction with that, month 2, month 3, we could do LinkedIn outreach and have someone making calls for you. So that's what I have in mind here.
Well, so you're talking about you're going to do email sequence first.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And then call. So yeah. we went into Apollo. I had my strategist go into Apollo last week, and she pulled out pallet manufacturers, and we did a whole bunch of different job titles from chairman to office manager to plant manager, assistant manager, all those guys. And she was only able to pull 1,500 out of it.
Yeah, that's no surprise. No surprise.
It's just horrible. And to answer your question is, I would go after another sector. The thing is, I don't have proof. And when in our email sequences and the things we send out, we send a link to this case study, and it's really powerful. Yeah. It's really powerful because if you're on the phone talking to a person and you tell them you get 1,400% return or 300%, within 3 or 4 months, 300% increase, they're going to hang up on you. That's totally unbelievable. But when you look at the analytics and they look at it and go, okay.
Yeah, that's powerful. I mean, we could even include like images on email 3 or 4, to avoid getting in the spam filter, but we could include that. That would kind of be powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go back and have her pull some other stuff to see what kind of housekeeping or house cleaning and stuff like that. Because we're working on a case study, we just don't have it ready yet.
Okay.
Because we're really new into the business.
Yeah.
But into that line. But again, I have to have a case study because this is where I can show proof. So it's almost like we send them an email and saying, oh, we can increase it by double digits and we can prove it. Something like that. Okay. But then I've got to have backup so I can actually prove that.
Okay.
So how would your process work?
My process is quite simple. So from today, I send you an email with the conversation that we had. We book another meeting. Next meeting, you tell me go or no go. That's typical process. I mean, we can skip that if you're super fast because the next step after that is a kickstart meeting in which I brief my CSM with you and my COO. They meet you. And basically both of these guys would work on your campaign. Obviously they have a copywriter too. After this meeting is done, we send you a script that you can approve 48 hours after the kickstart meeting. You approve the script. We get things going. So theoretically like 4 days after the kickstart meeting. And when we start, I mean, you can expect meetings from week number 2. And first month, we can get around 5 to 10 meetings. And we can scale from there and go to 15, 20, 25 meetings or brains. I mean, there are algorithms too, and we learn. And that's how we can scale the numbers,
Yeah, I'm just concerned, as you were concerned, that we can get enough people in these verticals. At some point,
we need more.
At some point, we're going to have to find another vertical.
Yes.
That we've got some good data on.
Yeah.
That we can, because we have a lot of different customers. It's just we haven't really kind of dug in deep because these kind of customers like this, it's easy to measure because we have call tracking. So we've got a unique phone number on Facebook, a unique number on LinkedIn. We got a unique phone number on their website for sales or for estimates. And then you have the general information number, which is our direct number.
Yeah.
So we do call recording so we can actually listen to them and we know that's a sales call. Okay.
Yeah.
But we're filtering because this is, if you have general information, call this number. If you want sales, call this number.
Okay.
And the pallets are the same way. People want a quote, so they're either filling out a form or they're calling the quote the sales number.
Okay.
So I can measure that. So I can prove that. But in a lot of other industries where you don't have that, like hotels, for example, hotels, a lot of hotels, they don't want to use call tracking.
Why?
Or they're using the brand to take the voice reservations. So if the voice calls are off the table for me, it's a non-starter. Because it's like you're getting 30 or 40% of your business off of voice and you're not going to give me credit for that when I'm driving that traffic. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, there's so many niche. I mean, the attractive niche I'm talking about, you probably have softwares to know what's hot right now, but I don't know, like business coaches, a lot of them tend to be good. Consultants, consultancy firms, IT is hot, obviously funded startups. I mean, we can go after a bunch of like interesting niche, we're not lacking any of that right now.
Yeah, I know. All he needs is a name and an email.
Exactly.
Name and an email. But again, you know,
And
my
title.
thing, because so what I have to look at on your end, you look at it is if you have a name and an email, you can go after it. What I look at it on my side is my close rate. Okay.
Yep, yep.
And I know that if I've got good data to prove what I do, that my close rate goes up exponentially.
Yep.
You know, I can double my close rate just by having good data behind it. Yep. But if you go after something brand new, you don't have that.
Yeah. Yeah. I already have a bunch of stats for that, and you can kind of estimate it. But I mean, I don't view it as a challenge. Well, I mean, you might, but like.
No. I never view it by a challenge. But let me tell you something. If you tell me, would you rather have a 22% close rate or a 44% close rate? Of course, I want a 44. Why? Obviously. Time is money. You know.
Yep.
You know, and everything translated, and it's the same dollar amount. It's the average sale times. How many
retention, obviously retention. Like, I mean, even the first deal is not really important. It's if they stay with you. That's what I dislike about realtors. You know, they pay the first month and after like second bill, they skip it. So yeah, you need to go after retention. That's why I tend to go.
We have that same challenge. You know, COVID hit everybody. You know, everybody pulled their marketing budget. You know, our sales dropped literally 30% overnight, you know. But the bottom line is that what we want to do is we want to be so valuable to them, and you make them so much business, they can't afford to leave us. You know, I had a conversation 2 weeks ago with a customer, and they were saying, "Hey, this guy's going to give me a lower price to do SEO and the same stuff you're doing." And I go, "Great." He goes, "Really?" And I go, "Yeah, that's great." Who wants to overpay for the same exact thing? It's the same exact thing, right? He said, "Oh yeah, he'll do the same thing." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Frank, here's how you handle that." Because we're also friends and we do business together. So he said, I said, "Here's what you do. You're going to go back to the other company and you're going to say, hey, right now I'm getting 768% ROI. Okay. If you can guarantee me in writing you can deliver at least 768 or better, I'll be happy to sign a contract with you."
Exactly.
And he says, "Well, why would I do that?" And I go, "Why wouldn't you do that?" I go, "There's an old saying, a bird in the fist is worth two in the bush. You get 768 and know you get 768. Why the hell do you want to go try somebody else? They can't guarantee it." Yeah. He goes, "Well, you wouldn't guarantee it." And I go, "I know, but I can now because I proved it to you."
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't get often that type of thinking. You know, I deal mostly with like bigger businesses. I guess it's, I mean, why don't people think in ROI? You know, anyway, it's second nature for me since I was born in the entrepreneurial world. But yeah, I get you. So let's just think, you know, of if that can be good. What I have to offer on my side, obviously, you know that my prices are a bit lower than the competition. I'm looking to acquire clients and not necessarily make money right now. I'm not at this phase, you know. I'm at the phase of like growing. And also I need to tell you that like I'm obsessed with hiring A players and great copywriters. So I won't disappoint when it comes to this. We don't fuck up a lot, like I like to say. We're A players. We like have very high standards of performance. So I think I can distinguish myself in that way. And I'm laser focused with email, you know. That's a good thing in our world. So I'm not the jack of all trades right now. I used to own call centers. Obviously, that has changed with COVID. Having an email in front of you, VS, brushing off someone on the phone, you know, is more powerful when it comes to meeting, and it's more serious. Show up rate is higher. So I guess I can be a pretty good fit with you. You tell me.
Is that why you do the email first? Is the email? Because I used to call it carpet bombing, which is kind of prepping.
Yeah, I know that term. I know that term. Lots of my baby boomer clients use it. I don't carpet bomb that much.
No. I didn't mean that in a good way. I mean, basically what we're doing is, so in World War II, you know, if you beach the Marines and you don't prep the target, all your Marines are going to die on the beach. But if you aerial bombard that thing for 2 days, 90% of your enemy's gone. You know what I mean? For me, it's about sending the emails to warm things up a little bit. And occasionally you get somebody replies back and says, "Oh yeah, I'm interested," or something. And if they don't, then you're going to call them.
No, it's direct response. You know that direct response. So you'll know that term. You know Gary Albert and Ogilvy. So it's to book a meeting directly to let them know that you're special off that first email, to not look like an Indian spammer. You know, that's kind of the mentality, and that's how I approach it. And the call to action is a direct meeting. If they like me, they'll book a meeting. If they don't like me, on to the next one, but we don't really go with quantity nowadays. We go 80% quality and 20% quantity.
I don't care about quantity.
Yeah.
And paying $100 for a lead, if they're bookable stuff and they're good solid, I have no problem paying $100 all day long. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with that, because I know what the ROI can be. For me, I'm not selling $1,000 widgets. My average contract is over $20,000. So for me, to pay $100 to get an opportunity to have a pair of eyeballs or a pair of ears for 15 minutes on a discovery call is totally worth it for me. As long as it's within my niche that I'm looking for.
Yeah. That's why you'd be a good fit.
Let's do this. Give me until about not middle of next week. So Marissa's out until Wednesday. I think she's back, and I know I've got a whole day of stuff for her. So why don't you get in touch with me a week from Monday? Okay?
Sure.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some other lists and see what kind of is out there, and maybe there's something that we can do to look for another vertical we can go after.
Okay.
Because I don't want something to be short-lived. I mean, do I need customers every week? Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do. I don't say, I've got enough customers. I always want more customers, So because my wife wants shoes. Lots of shoes.
Mine too, and lipsticks and dogs and houses and cars. Okay.
Wait. So you guys travel together?
Yeah, with our little dog.
Very cool. And all you do is just travel?
We travel a lot, and I mean every month we try to change places. It's a really cool lifestyle, being nomad, and I'm not yet ready to give it up. We're buying a house in Oaxaca in Mexico pretty soon, a ranch actually. I'm a pretty special person when it comes to like viewing life and stuff. Anyway, I want to build the greatest startup ecosystem in the world, and I could tell you more about that later, but that's our lifestyle. And right now it's pretty cool where we are. It's in the middle of a mountain with a view on the lake and stuff. We go like for walks.
Are you going to have your own garden?
Like I could show you. Hope the Wi-Fi.
So are you going to do regenerative? Because I'm a big environmental nut.
Okay, yeah, that's regarding.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a pretty nice place. I could go outside and show you. It's just beautiful, the view. We're like in the middle of mountains, and I'm so grateful for that.
Is Airbnb long term?
2 months.
Month here, month there.
Yeah, we always book 2 months.
Oh, 2 months.
Yeah. So and here in Mexico, it's luxury for peanuts. So that's
what is
pretty
it, like
cool.
1,200, 1,500 a month for the house?
No, it's like 1,000 Canadian.
What?
It's dirt cheap. You would be surprised. Like Mexico.
My wife and I, in a couple of years, my wife and I, we're going to travel.
Okay.
Keep the business, travel. Okay. We're going to live abroad. First place we're going is Spain.
Spain, you said?
Yeah.
Spain is really it's awesome, and it's cheap. I lived in Guadalajara for two months.
Cheap.
Yeah. No, it's really nice. We had a place in Spain with like a sauna, a gym, and everything. I used to do lots of mountain biking there. It's European culture is pretty cool. Obviously, it's more expensive than Mexico, at least twice. But cheaper than the States for sure. So no, it's pretty cool, man. And I guess you want to make your business work like clockwork and have people working while you do your thing.
The thing is so I'm sitting in my office right now.
Yeah.
And I got a 2,500 square foot office, and it's empty. There's nobody here.
Wow.
There's nobody here. I only have one person comes in the office. Everybody else is working remotely. And I hired people from outside the area. I have hired people out of state now.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. So it really got me thinking about, do I really need an office?
No, you don't.
I'm sitting here literally 2,500 square foot. It's crazy. I've got all these cubicles and pay air conditioning and overhead, and I'm by myself.
Yeah, you don't need that. So like, did you sign a long-term contract with the landlord, or?
I've been here since the summer of 2000.
Holy moly. Okay, so you pay per year, right? You sign contracts per year.
No. I'm not. I'm a month to month.
Okay, month to month.
I'm the second longest tenant in the complex. We have 48 offices in here.
Yeah.
And I'm the second longest tenant. And I do lots of favors for them. Like somebody wants to come and live in a unit, I'll take and open up the unit for them, and I do favors for them. They don't even pressure me. So, you know what I mean?
Can you build an office like at your home?
I have. So I got a big house.
Okay.
And I have a dedicated office in my house, and that's what I worked in for the first 3 months of COVID, from March to June.
Yeah.
I was working at home. Drove me crazy.
Yeah.
Drove me crazy.
It's another game. It's another game.
Right up the street from me, about a quarter mile, they're building a 28,000 square foot co-working space.
Okay. Yeah. My dad's going to do that.
It's under construction right now, and the girl just texted me, and I got an appointment to go see it next Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
I'm thinking about maybe what I'll do is I'll take a suite in there, 2 or 3 or 4 person office, and I'll just work there, and I'll have people come in periodically. And when we want to have a come to me, we'll bring everybody in and go to the conference room.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, we're all different, right? So my dad, for example, he worked inside our house for I think 10 years now. He still have a home office in his new house. And yeah, he's doing the co-working thing too. So he pays monthly with, I think, his partner. And basically, he shows up there like only to close deals with clients like once or twice a month. But he still pays like $1,500 per month, you know? So to a guy like me, and I get the getting crazy thing, but I guess you kind of get used to it. You need to separate work and life, else you go cuckoo.
Well, and the reason is because, see, I didn't grow up in my business. I didn't grow up working remote. I grew up going into an office and being social and things like that. So for me to get trapped into my home office and have my wife knock on the door, honey, this is broken. Can you fix this later? Honey, what time are you going to finish? I'm on a call.
Yeah, same with my dad.
And that was frustrating. And for me, I need to separate work, business, and pleasure. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
When I leave here, do I do work at home? Absolutely, I do. But I do it on my terms. You know, I have my phone. I'm watching Shark Tank. Yeah. And then a client, customer texts me, and I'll text him back, and then boom, I go right back to watching the show. You know?
Yeah. I was on Dragon's Den, by the way, 3 years ago in Canada. Yeah, the French version of it. But I mean, I get you. Like my dad's the same. You know, with my mom, for my mom, my dad is like a technician. He fixed the printer, he fixes the internet and the Wi-Fi. Like, yeah, I get you totally for that. And only that is worth the price of a co-working space. But hey, that's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure you're busy now. Like, I'll just let you roll in your weekend. How does the 21st of September sound? Tuesday.
Oh, shoot. Oh,
snap.
I've got all my people coming in the 20th to the 24th. Oh, shoot. Everybody's coming in town.
Who? Your team?
All my people. They're all coming in town. Everybody's coming in, converging, because we've got a company outing on Thursday and Friday, the 23rd and 24th.
What are you guys going to do?
I know I'm going to be, I can't tell you because I don't want it to get out. I'm taking them to a very cool place for the whole day and night. Really cool place.
Amazing. Cool.
They'll never on a place they'll never go in a million years.
Okay.
Nor will they ever spring the money for that because it's expensive.
You need to tell me after the surprise out.
Okay, so hold on just a second. So Monday is out for sure because Allie's flying in. Tuesday the 21st. I could do a call. I could do a call at 10 o'clock my time. What time are you? What are you?
I'm EST. Yeah, it's like so 10
Eastern. Oh my gosh, you're way down. You're down to Belize.
No. Like, I mean, my brain works in EST because it's like just for simplicity for my company, I'm 1 hour before EST. but I talk in EST, and we can talk in California time because I've got a bunch of clients there. So your 10 is the 1 p.m.
10 o'clock, 10 o'clock on Tuesday the 21st, 10 o'clock Pacific time.
Yeah, your time, which would be 1 p.m. my time. Let me see if I have a slot here. Yeah, I do.
Okay. Just send me out a calendar invite. We'll have another combo.
Let's do that time. I'll send you the email recapping everything. And yeah, last thing I want to leave you with, like, Mitch, you've got amazing energy, man. I don't know what you drink or what you eat.
Nothing.
I want to be like you, you know.
Been hyper all my life.
I think I'm going to have you on my vision board because I want to be that way. Like, how old are you now?
60s.
I mean, I want to be like you.
How old am I really?
Yeah.
So I bought a new Omron scale. You know what I'm talking about?
No. What is it?
So the Omron, they have the device you hold like this and it tells your BMI.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But this one's a scale. So it's got the metal sensors on your feet and you got a handheld thing. You hold it up like this and do it.
Yeah.
And it told me that I have the body, it's 53 years old. I'm literally 10 years younger, health-wise, than my age.
I mean, you have the energy of a 23 years old, which is good.
My son, he used to tell people, and when I was in my 50s, he said, "Yeah, my dad, he's a 53-year-old stuck in a 25-year-old's body." Yeah, kind of. Pretty much. My wife says, "You act like a kid all the time. Why do you do that?" And I go, "You know what? I never want to grow old.
Exactly.
I don't want to grow old.
Forever young.
Kids are so vibrant and they're just so curious and everything. And that's the way I am. So
exactly.
You know,
and props to you for that. So keep on running, Mitch. You're doing
thanks,
well.
Man. I have a great life.
All right. We'll speak in 1 week and a half.
All right. Take care. Appreciate the call. All right.